This week, the Texas Team Trail presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's kicks off the 2022 season with a return to Sam Rayburn Reservoir. Considered one of the top bass fisheries in the country, Rayburn is always a favorite stop. Double-digit bass are common, and on any given day, the chance of a record-breaking bag is high.
Honestly, it's Rayburn, and any time in February you come to Rayburn, it could be 36, 35, I feel like there'll be quite a few 20-pound sacks. I feel like the offshore game's gonna play a big part. Live scope, obviously, and brush pile fishing is the key trick on Rayburn.
Prone to big fluctuations, Rayburn was 3 foot high on our last visit, flooding thousands of acres, forcing anglers up into the bushes. This week, teams are dealing with much different conditions.
The water's 3.5 feet down low. We've got a lot of less grass than we had in the past, but I still think it'd be 25, 28 pounds to win them all.
We would like for the lake to be up a little from what we've done on this lake in the past, but we make some adjustments, and we're just going to do the best we can with the way it is.
It's mid-February, and fish are pre-spawned, but a cold front has these Florida strain fish in a funk, and reports are that the big fish bites are few and far between.
Caught a couple up shallow. We caught a couple up, kind of midpoint on the drop-offs, and we caught a couple deep. So it's just finding the right spot, right time, finding where they're at, and hooking into them, getting them in the boat.
Pretty much everywhere I went, they all they pre-spawn, so they all staging up in probably about 10, 12 foot of water, all the way up to probably 6.
To us, they're on the outside edge of grass. If we can get on them tomorrow, we're gonna have a pretty good stream.
I think a lot of the big fish are gonna be deep. You can fish the banks. Even though all the grass is dead, you can fish the banks and catch a lot of small fish, but I think you're gonna have to get out into that 20, 25 foot range to catch some big ones.
We've got better than 100 grand on the line this week, including thousands in sponsor contingency money. Welcome to the first stop of the season for the top-ranked team tournament trail in the country, the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
Okay, the official time is 6:59. If you're in the first flight is boats 1 through 50. Your check-in time will be 3 o'clock right here at the American flag.
Launching from Humphrey Pavilion, we've got 222 teams on the water this week, fishing for a total purse worth $108,000, including a Mercury-powered Nitro Z18 for the champs. If a winner is a current Nitro owner registered in the Nitro Tournament Rewards Program, they could be eligible for a valuable upgrade. For details, check out the Sponsor Rewards Program at texasteamtrail.com. Getting right into tournament coverage. Under clear skies, it's 34 degrees with light north winds. This is Logan Landry and Justin Leslie.
This is Logan Landry and Justin Leslie from Westlake, Louisiana, Port Arthur, Texas. We're out here sitting about 20 foot of water. We found some fish on forward-facing sonar yesterday. Just couldn't get them to bite. See if we can get them to bite this morning. We're boat number 10 out, so feel like we had a good boat draw. We just got to capitalize. We're going to run this probably about another 15, 20 minutes and go to a different spot. See what we can catch over there. We found a couple fish on forward-facing sonar at our second spot yesterday too, so we'll see what we can do. Yeah, hopefully once it warms up, the bite will turn on a little bit.
Finally getting feeling in my feet,
Yeah, it was 32, 33 degrees this morning at takeoff. Had a little frost on the boat. Feels like it's starting to warm up though.
With these cold conditions, reports from practice were that the bite picked up later in the day. Most of the teams will be starting deep, running and gunning brush piles and grass before following the contours up shallow after the sun gets up and the water warms. 15 minutes in, with no sign of activity, Logan fires up the Mercury. It's a short hop to their second spot, where they change things up. Switching to a Carolina rig, Jason gets the first bite of the morning.
Oh boy. Here, let's
Sometimes the subtle change.
Yep.
Okay. Number 1.
Moving on, this is Hunter Marshall and Trace Odell. Fishing from a Triton, they're offshore casting big crankbaits over structure. Just as cameras arrived, Trace got the net under one pushing 4 pounds. A couple casts later, and Hunter hooked up again.
No, we're just fishing a little underwater point out here. Trying to catch some of these stagers that I believe might have backed off with this weather, but I'm no biologist, so I couldn't really tell you.
Under cold post-frontal conditions, Hunter and Trace have a limit early. Hey, the TXTT still has 3 regular season events remaining. Fish one or fish them all. Just come out and see why we're the top-rated team trail in the nation. The Texas Team Trail is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. And by Lucas Oil and High Performance Marine Products.
There's no feeling like it. When you've prepped the gear, done the research, found the spot, nailed the presentation, and now there's only one thing left to do. Keep fishing. So gear up with all the best fishing gear, only at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Shop in-store or online.
You have a full-time job and you want to be a full-time angler. Don't waste time scouting. You want to catch fish. That's where Garmin comes in. Our mapping with Navionics data lets you see more detail than the fish do. It's kind of a big deal. Oh, and our industry-leading live sonar is so crisp and clear you'll think you jumped in. You're welcome. Now, if only we had a powerful, efficient, whisper-quiet trolling motor. Actually, we do. It's called Force. We knew you'd like that. Less time finding, more time catching fish. Only with Garmin.
Hi, I'm Pro Angler Mark Rose.
And I'm Pro Angler Andy Montgomery.
You want your truck engine to last longer than a 3,000-yard bulk spool of line?
Lucas Oil, motor oil, long-lasting.
Extra long-lasting.
Should I say running smoother or running better? Running smoother might sound better. Smoother than a 3-legged thunder cricket coming through a treetop. Silence!
Say something about injector cleaner and hold up the bottle. Are we rolling?
Jeez.
Come on! Lucas Oil, made in America.
Sold to the world.
Back on Sam Rayburn for the first stop of the 2022 season, and we're off to a chilly start. It was 29 degrees at launch, and we'll warm to near 60. Fish are pre-spawned, and we're ready to move shallow before that cold front hit the pause button. Back on Hunter Marshall and Trace Odell. When we first pulled up, Hunter hooked up on near back-to-back cast. With 5 in the boat, we'll get on board.
We're out here on this extended point, trying to figure some fish probably backed out, and some more that are getting close, getting ready to pull up.
There's one.
He's one.
I need a net. Feels like I didn't, Trace. Oh my God. I'm gonna put him up. You ready?
Ooh, that's a grown one right there, man.
Hey, Bubba.
That's a big one right there.
They'll cull up more than 7 pounds on that one. A couple hours in, and Hunter and Trace have close to 25 pounds unofficially.
Yeah.
All right, we're good? That's 5?
Yeah, we got 5.
That was an 8-pounder, huh?
That's a full-grown one, man.
Yeah, she was thick. She was thick.
Moving on, Skip Floyd and Danny Sanute have a small limit early.
Got him.
And this one might cull.
Boom. I don't think, he might get rid of number 3.
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Morning started out kind of slow. We got the late flight. My partner caught one on a rattle trap early, and we were pumped up, and that was it for a long time. Slick calm came about. Wind picked up a little bit. We caught one on a Texas rig, and then 3 on Carolina rig. We got a little limit going. So
The bait of champions, brush hogs. So we talked last night at the house, and we just decided that we're going to come do what we do, and trap fishing is what I really enjoy doing. And when I caught that trap fish, like I said this morning, we thought it was about to fire, and it didn't. So then we made it run the fingers, tried the same thing, nothing happened. And then we just decided to, actually we used side imagery riding in here on this creek, and we found all these laydowns, and we'll fish it for a little bit. Then we got another laydown right up here about 50 yards. We're going to ease up to it here shortly and sit on it for around 15 minutes. And hopefully we'll pull one out of it. We've been catching one fish per 2 laydowns. That's our statistics there. Every second one we pull up to, we'll catch a fish.
The forward-facing sonar technology is technically still in the early stages, but it's already changed the game. Tournament bass anglers and crappie fishermen alike have turned to Garmin with its Panoptics and LiveScope dominating the industry. If you're an offshore angler and you're not using Garmin, then you're probably at a disadvantage.
I'm using Garmin LiveScope to pretty much, pinpoint the brush piles and pinpoint where the fish are staging at to get a good angle on them. That is something that has absolutely changed the game as live sonar. Before we just pretty much was able to find them with side scan and try to locate them casting around, but now we can actually pinpoint fish. I mean, it's a game-changing technology, that's for sure.
So Garmin has been a sponsor for Texas Team Trail for 5 or 6 years now, I think. We have the Captain's Cash, where we do for the top prize winner, or for the highest finisher for Garmin, you receive $1,000 cash, which is a pretty cool incentive there. A lot of guys do it. You don't have to have the whole boat in Garmin, you just have to have one device in Garmin. And as you can see here, we're out here demoing some products, talking to the guys.
To learn more about which model is best for you, check out Garmin.com. When you're ready to order, shop Bass Pro online, and they'll drop it on your doorstep. You're watching the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. This segment is also brought to you by Garmin Electronics, Fight Your Fish, Not Your Fish Finder, Nitro Boats, Pro Level Performance, Mercury Marine Outboards, Go Boldly, and by AFTCO, any fish, any water. Coming up, we'll get back out on Rayburn for more from stop number 1 of the Texas Team Trail. You can find us online at texasteamtrail.com.
When there's miles of water in front of you and hundreds of feet below, you need a boat with the chops to dominate, no matter the conditions. With the strength and technology to overcome the elements and the competition. Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time.
At Mercury, we invested thousands of hours of engineering manpower so you can enjoy hours and hours of untapped horsepower. The V6 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly. At Mercury, there are no limits to what we'll do to make sure you have no limits either. The V8 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly.
As a professional angler, you've got so many things on your mind. Any advantage that we have is key. And not only rods and reels and lines and baits, but in our clothes. And the guys at AFTCO, they have something for every situation. There's nothing AFTCO hasn't thought about with the fishermen in mind. It's designed for fishermen, by fishermen, for every scenario you can come to. Any fish, any water, any condition, AFTCO has you covered.
Back on Sam Rayburn Reservoir for the first stop of the 2022 season of the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Nearing mid-morning, we'll pick up tournament coverage with the team of Brian Hillebrandt and Jordan Bro. Up from Lake Charles, Brian and Jordan are fishing from a Ranger, casting rattling baits over grass.
Got it?
This one should be number 5 for the day. Though they don't have a big limit, this time of year, you just keep casting. With the big females moving shallow, it's really a numbers game. If you're catching a bunch of males, it's only a matter of time before you hook into one that matters.
Rod dog. Arms ain't been so long.
kind of what we've been catching here. Nothing to move the scales, but I feel like we're still around some big ones mixed in with them. If I can get it off. Got it?
I got it. They're all about the same size. This is what the fish are holding in right there. There ain't a lot of that left. The flood last year really hurt us, but you can get around some of that good green grass. It's holding a big concentration of fish. So we started out, he did get a lot of time to practice. He come out yesterday, did a lot of idling deep. Found a couple pretty decent schools of fish. Went back to him this morning, really wasn't firing. Weeded through a bunch of little fish, pulled the plug on that. About 9:30, picked up the lipless crankbaits, come up to the bank, and we've been doing pretty good the last couple of weeks running these drains with a lipless crankbait. So he didn't even come look at none of this yesterday. The fish should still be in the area, or we're hoping.
So we got 2 little juice holes on this big flat that majority of our fish have been coming out of, especially the better ones. One's right up here on the edge of a creek swing. Goes from about 12 foot to 4. A lot of grass on the edge of it. So maybe some of them big girls are just sitting right there on the edge, waiting for a trap to go by their face.
Fish. Right.
That's number 5.
He is number 5, but.
So we've got 5, nothing special, probably about 12 pounds. But at any given moment with these traps, we get a good bite. I don't know that we're on the fish to really win it, but we could probably get around that 20-pound mark out here, no problem. Just got to get 1 or 2 5-pounders, or 1 10-pounder would be better, but it's happened before.
Leaving Brian and Jordan, we'll make one last stop and check in with Paul Lamprin and Kevin Stevenson. Down from Colorado, this is their first go on the Texas Team Trail.
I'm Paul, and I'm here with my son Kevin. We come down from Colorado to fish the Texas Team Trail and try our luck and see how we can do.
Up shallow, they're fishing fast. They've got 2 and a little time on the clock.
Been a pretty slow afternoon for us. Got a couple in the live well, nothing to write home about, and hoping to find at least 1 more fish before the end of the day. We're in the first flight, so we got check-in in just about another hour or so.
Running a Nitro Z21, Paul and Kevin are chasing the free money available in the Nitro Tournament rewards.
Well, I really love the Nitro and what they're doing for the rewards program and Mercury as well. We signed up for both of those as well as the Garmin rewards, and hoping we can find the fish and get up there and earn a few bonus bucks on that whole deal. This Nitro's really been a great boat. It's my 2nd Nitro, and it's treated me well, same with that Merc.
One of the perks of the TXTT is the extra money available in the various sponsor rewards programs. The Nitro Tournament Rewards pays out additional money for the top qualified Nitro finisher and an upgraded platform for the qualified champs. To learn more, check out our website at texasteamtrail.com or visit nitro.com.
Well, these are the 2 we got so far. Hopefully we find another 3 of them in the next hour. We'll be looking for them.
Coming up, the Texas Team Trail heads back to Umphrey Pavilion for the Lucas Oil Weigh-In. We've got $108,000 up for grabs and a brand new race for the Lucas Oil Team of the Year just getting started. This portion of the Texas Team Trail presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's is also brought to you by TH Marine. From transom to trolling motor, Triton Boats, the driving force of performance fishing. And by Sunline, the strength to guarantee confidence. The Texas Team Trail is still registering for the remaining events of the season. Fish one or fish them all. For details and registration, TexasTeamTrail.com.
At Duckett Fishing, we have assembled the top pros in the country to help us design rods to give you a competitive advantage. Castability, strength, durability, action, sensitivity, weight and balance, and consistency. Combine that with the best warranty in the industry, and you have rods that are pro-driven.
Duckett Fishing, pro-driven. Born in Japan, FC Sniper became the #1 fluorocarbon line in the Japanese market. It transitioned to the U.S. in the early 2000s and continues to grow in prominence with anglers. FC Sniper is the flagship product in the American market and bestseller. It features the perfect blend of abrasion resistance, low memory, and tensile strength. FC Sniper is offered in pound tests that range from 2 pound to 30 pound and in spool sizes up to 1,200 yards. FC Sniper has the strength to guarantee your confidence.
Nitro, a rush of tournament adrenaline. Nitro, the choice of champions, where performance meets play. Nitro, a big water beast, a pure fishing machine. Nitro, release the champion within.
Back at Umphrey Pavilion on Sam Rayburn, we're getting set for the first weigh-in of the season, where in addition to the $108,000 up for grabs, teams are also vying for valuable points in the Lucas Oil Team of the Year standings. With their on-site angler support and Team of the Year program, Lucas Oil and Marine has been a dedicated partner on the trail. Getting back to tournament coverage, out of 222 teams, barely half the field brought in a 5-fish limit. For most, it was a tough day on the pond.
Well, we started off slow. Right off the bat, actually, we were throwing the rattle trap. We caught a good fish. And then we went about 2 hours, 2.5 hours without catching anything. And we changed our shift, and that's when John and them guys got in the boat, and they saw we were fishing channel edges with laydowns, dragging Carolina rigs and throwing Texas rigs, and we put our 5 fish in the boat. So
it was tough. We had a really tough practice yesterday, but we found one spot with a bunch of Kentuckies on it, so we just sat on top of it all day and managed to get a limit out of it.
We had a good day. We had fun. We enjoyed ourselves, but caught a lot of fish, probably 30, 40 fish, but just couldn't connect with the big one.
And as always, it's that kicker fish that makes all the difference. This year saw a couple fish over 10. This one from Gary Kennard and Rick Scott going 10.09. Big Bass pays out $1,100 this week, just part of the $108,000 purse. The champs go home with a Nitro Z18 with a Mercury 150. We're paying down 33 places and reaching all the way down to 43rd in contingency money. Qualify and get paid. Learn all about it at TexasTeamTrail.com. The Garmin Rewards program pays out $500 to the top qualified finisher. Russell Lee and Landon Ware picked that up. Moving on to the Lucas Oil weigh-in and checking in at the top of the leaderboard, Randy Turner and James Jarrett dropped a limit on the scales for $23.08. They'll finish third, taking home $4,830. Casey Burley and Joshua Rogers weighed a limit for $24.25. They'll finish second, earning $7,200. And coming in on top, Hunter Marshall and Trace Odell caught him big and caught him early, and we were there to see it. Cranking a deep point, Hunter had the hot hand.
That's a big one right there.
Going to the scales, Marshall and Odell weighed 28.16, picking up the win and a $41,155 prize package, including a brand new Mercury-powered Nitro boat. Here's a look at the rest of the top 10 on the Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's leaderboard.
Had a pretty good day. It started quick, happened in a hurry, and that's really, we only called one time afternoon. And I mean, blessed day. Would have never imagined this morning that that was going to happen. We really didn't even know we were going to start, so we just kind of threw a dart at the map, and that's where we landed. So it was a good day overall.
Next up, the Texas Team Trail is on Cedar Creek. We're back on Texoma in April, and then Rayburn in May as the last qualifying stop before the championship in June on Choke Canyon. Register online for one or for all at texasteamtrail.com. And remember, for all your fishing and boating needs, Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's has got you covered. Shop their retail or check them out online. The Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, is a Careco TV and an Outdoor Teamworks presentation.